friends in the southern states of America. Just hoping they'll come on and I can just touch base with them. Um, I mean, we have no idea in Australia. We get a few cyclones and they're quite devastating, but they're nothing like these hurricanes. So I'm just doing a bit of a chat, saying hello, seeing if anyone's there. Hello, hello. But it doesn't really matter. It's all fantastic and good. Yes, it is. We've got my Coke. And hello, we have one person in the chat. How are you? The first of many. Sterling. Yeah, good morning, mate. Oregon, so you're quite north. I was just going back on again and hoping that some of my guys from America are, just and Kyle, thank you, mate, and Elite, thank you, Sterling, thank you for joining me. I just yeah, I'm a little bit worried for you. The double banger in less than two weeks, and you get doubly hit. So because we get fed such crap in the news that I'm not even going to watch the bloody news at all. I'm going to try and get it from the horse's mouth. Did you see my live last night with Buck? No, but I can rewatch it, Sterling. I was actually sorry, Sterling. Last night was dedicated to Old Mac. Old Mac was having a live, and he actually started breaking down a bit and crying, and he was just so honest, and it was such a good live to watch. But I'll check out your live. I can always look it up and rewatch it. But yeah, Max was really emotional and touching, and I was so glad to be a part of it. I have a lot of time for Mr. Jerry Turner, Old Mac. He's a very, very good human being, and yeah, he's waking up, brothers and sisters. What up, brothers and sisters? Hey, Richard. Yeah. Are the hands good, Elite? It is. It's okay. Current reports state that people haven't left Florida yet, especially stuck. 6 hours to travel 100 miles. My God. And there is no fuel. For fuck's sake, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. It's just like the beginning of Walking Dead, isn't it? But there you go. Fucking crazy. So many people in Florida, and all of them predominantly are elderly, so fuck, down there in Florida Keys, getting wiped out. It's crazy. Yeah. The replay game. Yeah. It was a lovely time spent with Old Mac, and I was so fortunate to be involved in that chat. I just listened to his stories, and he's doing okay. He's our Old Mac. He's a little bit. Yeah, he's not the healthiest man in the world, but he's not by far the sickest. So it was really good to chat with him and support him. And I think that's what really, really counts, mate. It counts a lot when we support our friends, and I'm just, yeah, I'm glad to have people like that in my life, even though it's para friendships, but they're still meaningful. They still give me quite a lot to digest and think about, and feel fortunate that I have people in my life that are very, very cool. So that's all I really wanted to say is just saying a prayer for the guys in southern states of America, that they are safe and that the Lord delivers them. And the storm just blows overhead. Wow. Because it's very frightening. Our weather has changed in my lifetime, at least. As a child growing up here in Australia, we heard of the odd hurricane, definitely, but nothing of this magnitude, and so close to densely populated areas. So my thoughts, my prayers are with you, America, and most sincerely. Yes. So there you go. So I won't be on here too long because I would like to go and look at this live with Sterling and Buck. Buck's going through a few trials and tribulations at the moment in regard to his place. He's talk about a resilient guy. He gets a lot thrown at him, and it's not lost on us. It's not lost on us at all. Okay, 5 in the chat, 6 in the chat, 7 in the chat. How you all going? I'll try and stop using ums and ahs and oohs and ees. I'll reserve them for my songs. I don't know, Sterling. I really don't know. Is it pride? Perhaps it's pride. But yeah, some people need it. Good morning, Mark. They're good, mate. I was just trying to catch up with a few of my American friends, waking up to this beautiful face, wishing them and praying for them that they are delivered safely from the storm, and that's all. It's sort of what I was set aside the pride and accept the helping hand. Yes, I mean, how do you tell somebody that when they don't want to do it, though, Kyle? There are so many people willing to help, and even in Australia, we can parcel up blankets, we can parcel up clothes, we can parcel up education supplies. We can parcel up bottles of water. It's it does impact us all, mate. This storm is impacting us all because I have friends that I don't want to lose. I have some lightly sketched plans, and I'd love to see them in person. That's the power of connection that I've made. Richard Jones, what's cracking, mate? Just trying to connect with a few of my American friends from the southern states, waking up now and just making sure they got through the night unscathed. It's a frightening time for our friends in America. Yeah, and or elite, you hear someone that says, "Oh, can I have some money for food?" and you go and buy them food, and they don't want the food because they want the money for drugs. That's the other side of what I've encountered anyway. So I'm a bit reluctant to give people money. Mind you, if you're sitting on the street playing an instrument, busking, that's a very, very decent way. Yeah, okay, I get that, Sterling. I think what Buck needs maybe isn't that sort of help. He needs maybe just actual man. He needs maybe labour help. to help, and I know that he'll have a hard time accepting it because that's the sort of gentleman that he is, you know. Yeah, I know they want a cash supply before they want supplies. Yeah, I know, I get that. Buck's, I don't know if it's pride with Buck. I just think he knows just how people are suffering, and I think it's a compassionate thing with Buck Sterling. I think he's you know he's one of those human beings that I would want to emulate. I think I've always said that to him. He's a very good human being. Is Buck Brown, and he has a fucking nice bike too. So I hope that bike didn't get damaged, man. But if it does, it does. But one good thing Buck was telling me was that his dearly beloved wife made sure that they got the right insurance. So perhaps that's why he's a bit reluctant to find or be outstretched for help, because he knows he's going to be all right in all of this. I hope, anyway. I hope. Sterling, have a good day at work. I know you hate your work, and you are longing to get back to the ranch, back into the Land Cruiser, and back away from people, because people are fucked. And I really enjoyed talking with you yesterday about all of that. I thought that was very, very cool. That you went to the old casino, the highest casino in America. Yeah. Good man, you'll be home in 7 hours. Yeah, rest up, enjoy. Yeah, people are, mate. I get that. I get that, Richard Jones. But thankfully, not everybody, because the people here on Dave's channel are wonderful human beings, and I've really found some wonderful people, and maybe that's because I'm maybe a cool dude. I don't know. I don't want to toot my own trumpet, but I'm no Shane Getz. I'm no guy who's going to sit there and tattoo his eyeballs for money. I'm not that sort of person. But Shane, or Sean, or whatever his name is, the young lad, the YouTube influencer, has certainly shown me how to respond to trolls. And but I think I've got a fucking unique way of responding to trolls, and we put them into an old medieval arena, and it's my wrenchmen of Dave's channel have all been given selected medieval armaments, and they can go and slash, hack, disembowel, and decapitate the trolls. I like that, and see them dispatched off the chat, and that is a fun way of doing it. But also, letting them know thanks for the view, and that notches up yet another view on Dave's channel. So please come one, come all. But it's been a lot of fun. Yes, thrust and parry. Yes, exactly. Thrust and party. Yes, it's exactly right, Rod B. How are you, mate? Are you good? Talking with Whitey today on one of my chats from that Harley couple, or the Harley Roadshow, talking about what we may do come January the 12th. Yeah, good, mate. Wouldn't mind going as an attaché from Western Australia for the men, and highlight the issues of the FIFO worker who really suffers up there in that industry. You know, sure, it's the big bucks, but the emotional cost of these men who, they're killing themselves, and it's not good emotionally to be away from your family and your partner, and all because you're on some fantastic wage, but you're missing out on so many good things, birthdays, mentions in a school, things like that. I am a firm believer, and sadly it didn't happen in my life, but as a child growing up, it was around the dinner table, everybody got to speak about their day. And it's, fit in or fuck off. I get that. So the importance of family time around the dinner table is, it just doesn't seem to be important. You could bet your bottom dollar that Gina Reinhardt and Andrew Forrester are around their dinner table every night. So, but the poor old man, yeah, I know, mate. I get it. I get it. Respect is a big loss. It's true, mate. It's true. But that's sort of what I wouldn't mind talking to, highlighting on my channel when I go on this ride. If I go on this ride, it wouldn't be a boycott or anything like that. I don't mind Danny Bogan. I think he's all right. I think his heart's in the right place. He's a little exuberant at times, perhaps, might be the correct way of saying it. A little exuberant, and but his core of what he's saying, I actually agree with. And I don't know, Rod B. That I hope it's not long gone, man. The family unit. I think it's important. I know that the family unit's gone a little bit because of technology, and we're all on our phones all the time. But at least in our little house, we have an hour where we all get together and we watch the game shows, Tipping Point and The Chase. And then look, it's trivia shit, but at least we're in the same room, we're talking and we're having a laugh, and so give up my seat. It feels like, what's the point? Yeah, I get it, man. Chivalry's not dead, though. Yeah, it is all part of the big narrative, brother. It is. And the big narrative is, make way for Gina Reinhardt. She's carrying the country, for fuck's sake. But I don't know if you've watched any of my shows, but I say leave the fucker in the ground. There's a reason oil is lubricating the tectonic plates. There's a reason why we need minerals in our earth structure. Leave it in the ground. And for God's sake, don't blow up any more sacred sites here in Australia. Now, Kyle, you have written a war and peace response that needs to be addressed here. So, Rob, I'm 33, married, 3 kids, 1 on the way. I am the sole income, and I make sure no matter what happens during the day, we all spend time together and work to teach my kids not to be shitheads. Kyle, Father of the Year, Father of this decade. Good for you, brother. Good for you. Well done. Okay, Martinez. Who is Richard Martinez? I don't know. But someone has... Richard Jones, you've got every right to be here. Okay, something's going on in my chat. Anyway, it must have been defamatory, but I hope it wasn't. Richard Jones seemed like a pretty cool dude. People made families, families made communities, communities from tribes, and on it should go. That's right. That's right, man. The tribe, the the great tribe. Well, since my operation, I've put the alcohol down. Haven't put the cigarettes down. Haven't put the. G'day, Mr. B. How how is it in your neck of the woods? Is it safe? Did oh man, I hope everything's good. I was saying a few prayers before for all my friends. Sorry about the camera. Just trying to set it up properly. I'm just trying to set it all up properly. I hope everybody in your neck of the woods and in your little hamlet, because it's hardly a community with 61 people, your little hamlet are safe and okay, and have weathered the impending storm, or it hasn't hit yet, or poor old Florida is under fire. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy, man. All those I hope, well, they're staunch people too though, Rod. I think they know what they're doing. In my area is doing just fine. In Florida, not so much. They're getting pounded by debris, and so all that debris that was from the last hurricane, strewn out into the streets now is just everywhere, and obviously creating missiles. And so that's the real reason for the chat today, is just to say a few prayers, to say that Australia, Dave's channel is supporting. I don't know if it's supporting is the right word. Just praying for you, praying for people in Gainesville, is praying for people in, the Shade Tree Army there in Florida, Forgotten Angels compound. I'm hoping it's safe. It would be heartbreaking. It would be heartbreaking for those young men to have to rebuild their houses again. Ah, dear. Okay, so the west part of North Carolina is a horror show. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. Oh, so not everyone's going to get out of it. Fucking bodies in trees. But see, they're not going to say that on our news channel. This is the stuff that they're not. Oh man, Buck lost everything. Oh fuck, poor guy. Okay, I'm gonna watch Sterling Wheel a bit later on tonight, and I'll catch up with how Buck is. I've also got Buck's email address, and I'll write him an email. I know he doesn't like taking charity, but maybe he doesn't have a choice. So I've got a few bucks for Buck. Definitely, I've got a few dollars for him if he needs it. Fuck this fucking world. Anyway, it just makes us stronger, or it carries us away and we end up in a tree. I just don't know what to say there. I'm glad though. I'm glad you told me that. I'm glad you told me that, because that's something that the mainstream media would definitely hide from an Australian softly population. We don't do that. We don't need to hear that. We don't want to shock people from turning off the TV because we need our ratings. It's crazy, man. Crazy, fucking crazy. And I've been a little bit selective about what I've clicked on YouTube about live streams, and just been, Yeah, the insurance company will pay them out. That's good. So that's good. But it's sort of not good, like heirlooms and family, memorabilia, of his beloved wife and things like that. Photo albums of the kids growing up, the lives together, that's all he had. So I really do feel for Buck. Fuck. Yeah, I'm sure the place. He did mention that he had to walk into his property. He couldn't actually get in there. He couldn't drive in there, and yeah, more of that narrative. Sentimental value can't be paid back. It can't be paid back. You cannot put a price on heirlooms and things that prompt our memory. And I mean, I was just funnily. I mean, I'm a bit off track here. Old Mac and Sick Bastard were talking about K-bars and the long knife that sits in your scabbard on your dress, military dress for parades and stuff, and how I let all my military stuff go. When I left the army, I just made a beeline for the hippie communes, the most furthest thing away from being in the military, because I just hated the military so much. It just was not for me. I just couldn't do the authority. I loved the basic training. I loved when we were all equal, and then we were raised up, and then it changed. And I can distinctly remember, and all it took was a lowly lance corporal, not even a corporal, a lance corporal in a wet mess. After work, we'd all done our yelling and screaming and marching and weapons training, and you will, after this lesson, be able to demonstrate how the shine in your belt buckles will glisten as the sergeant major inspects you for your drill. And so, I mean, I got all of that, and I was happy to comply with all of that. So here we are in a wet mess, and this lowly lance corporal asked me if I want a beer. Now, up until then, he was just another soldier. But as soon as he pulled rank in a wet mess situation, that's corporal to you, I just said, yeah, mate, whatever, And I promptly put my glass down and I left. I didn't need much convincing, mate. But the reason why I felt like that was that the army's great, but if it's attracting these sorts of people that, need to feel a sense of power in the wrong position and in the wrong timing, there seemed to be quite a lot of that. So in some aspects, the military's dangerous. Not for the reasons I think that you're thinking. The military is dangerous because it tends to put the cannon fodder in amongst all the good SAS guys. The good combat heroes. Still. But anyway, enough about the military. This new storm has geared right for the Forgotten Angels area. So there'll be no October camp out. Well, there might be. There might be a big October camp out where it's a big busy bee. That would be, I don't know. I've got no idea. We've got to catch up on all the episodes. I don't think Shade Tree will be having any hurricane parties. I don't think anything like that's going to happen, Kyle. It's truly sad to see that happen, but we can only hope that the memory lives on in his heart and his mind. Yeah, look, no doubt it will, and that's obviously where it will live. Just that I saw a couple of videos of his beloved wife before she passed away, and she was such a great trooper. What a wonderful human being. What a lovely couple they were too, They were a lovely couple, Buck and his partner. Won't be any candles burning. No, I get it, Ron. Yeah, it might be a bit soon, but it's all right, mate. It's we've always got a moment here for a bit of a laugh too. Laughter is, in sometimes in adversity, laughter is a good thing. It's but I said a few prayers. I wanted the people to know that I am thinking of them, and I really do care very much, and very yeah. I'm glad I made these connections, or else it'd just be another fucking news story, from my perspective. But now I've made these connections through following some friends, and the connections have become very meaningful, and I really care about the lives of these people and their communities, and what they're doing, and likewise, if there was to be tragedy here, and some stupid missile is launched at our naval facility, just 20 kilometers off the coast here, I'm sure there'd be the same sort of outreaching and of response. So just shows that Dave's Channels has a degree of humanity. I think that hopefully gives comfort if you're watching in these areas, but I doubt you are. You probably don't even have internet access. You probably got nothing, no power, can't charge your phone. Fuck. Anyway, that's it. That's beautiful, Mr. B. And just a 5 minutes just to connect. Just that's all it was, mate. Let him know, Mr. B, that I was asking after him. Oh man, you might. Yet don't. I've got some ideas. Hey, g'day, Sebastian. Hey, brother from another mother. And Dylan. Hello, Dylan. How are you, mate? Just sort of connecting with my American friends about the hurricane, Dylan. Everyone in the chat, Dylan, who I do need to just adjust Dylan, because he's such a good man. Dylan was the young fellow who taught me a little bit about filmmaking, and I taught him a little bit about Australia. Not from a tourist. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy storm. Yeah, it's a crazy storm. And Dylan was most grateful to have a local perspective of our country, rather than a leaflet read story. Question. Look, we get cyclones in the north. Cyclones are very similar to hurricanes. Rain, wind, circular storm surges. So we call them cyclones. And a funny fact, Mr. B, I think it's a bit like water. In the northern hemisphere, the water spirals down the toilet one way, and in the southern hemisphere, it spirals the other way. Hurricanes spiral one way, and cyclones spiral a different way. Still devastating, a potential of killing. So we are not out of the woods. Cyclone season is approaching. That's usually between November and March, but it's mainly up in the north region of the country. So the worst one was Cyclone Tracy, that wiped out Darwin in 1977, I think. So we've had a few since, but they just sort of cross just south of Broome, which is the Kimberleys. They have a devastating effect on flora and fauna, but mate, the animals are very, very smart. Yeah, it's wild. It's the complete opposite to the Northern Hemisphere. Um, there you go. So the water, when you flush your dunny, or it goes down the sink, it'll spin a certain way. You might want to watch this. It just spins a certain way, and then here in Australia, the water will spin the opposite way. It's completely insane. But that's gravity for you. Something to do with it. So yeah, Sebastian. Snow is um, uh, it's sometimes as far up as Tenterfield, Warwick, that area, but you have to be on the um, because we're upside down here, I know. Yes, snow can fall sometimes as into Queensland, but you have to be in the Great Dividing Range, and it has to be winter. But yes, snow has fallen uh, in Australia, but not a lot. Not a lot. So, yes, it's to do with the equator. I think in the equator, the water just goes straight down, doesn't it? I'm not 100% sure. But that's the difference. Hurricanes and cyclones, still very devastating, but nothing like what we're seeing, man. Yeah, gravity. Yeah, gravity. It's to do with gravity. Anyway, Dave's channel's not a fucking science show, so it's a motorcycle content, and but it's also a caring for our loved ones too. Uh, uh, I don't know. Maybe America's upside down. Who knows? Australia hasn't. Australia, but I'm sorry I didn't have you all on chat before when I was dealing with a investment scammer before. It was a lot of fun. I wasted nearly 2 hours of their time um, talking to an investment scam, and yeah, I was telling them all sorts of lies. Um, it was fantastic about just exactly how much money I have, and you should have heard them. Oh, yeah, rah, rah, rah. And it was great actually. And the object of the call and why I stayed so long on the call was that if they're wasting time with me, they're not scamming someone else for that 2 hours. And I actually got quite a rate when they knew they didn't have a payday. So I'm sorry I didn't film that because it was actually quite fun. Oh, okay. Now, I think we drive on the side of the road here in Australia from England, and it has something to do with jousting. I haven't really got I haven't got a lot into it. Yes, the 09. Okay. Wow. Okay, Sebastian, enjoy it. They're a very fucking quick bike, by the way. You've also gone out and purchased good helmet, gloves, jacket, good Kevlar pants, and a good pair of boots, haven't you? Just enjoy your bike, brother. Enjoy it. I had a Yamaha MT-01. So that was the 1700 crazy fucking thing. Oh, yeah. So you know what? Yeah, okay. You know what it was like. The Ducati Monsters, they weren't too bad. They weren't, I don't know about garbage. Is that what you mean? Garbage? Yeah, not 100% sure. I've ridden an MTO. No, I've ridden a Ducati Monster, and it was a lot of fun. I think she had Akrapovic exhausts, or maybe Stay in Tune exhausts on it, and it fucking sounded lovely. That was a lovely old bike. Geez, that's maybe mid to later 90s. Yeah, it's gravity that's doing all that. Anyway, keep smoking and drinking, and you won't have to wait for a storm to take you out, David. Anyway, okay, Elite. Thanks for being here tonight. Enjoy. Have some lovely family time with your family tonight around the dinner table. Cherish them, love them. You're so lucky to have them. Okay, here he is. This is the whole reason for the chat, was to connect with my mate. Eric, I hope you're well. Good morning, brother. I said a bit of a prayer for you guys, hoping that Jesus looks after you and blesses you with making the storm go overhead, or dissipating, or just, because from what Mr. B is saying, it's catastrophic. And you're very much in my thoughts, sick bastard. You're very, very much in my prayers. And I sort of refuse to watch Australian coverage of it, because I think it would be bias. And I think it would be not correct. So, hey, Jeff, got the barrels and heads for the shovel. Ah, good man. Good man. Ah, yes. Oh, man, sick bastard. Fuck me dead. And it looks like it might be a busy bee at the camp out this October, rather than a camp out cleaning it all up. That's what I was sort of saying before. It might be just a big busy bee. Okay. Your sugar count. Yeah, they won't sugarcoat it. It's Wednesday, the 9th of October, 3 a.m. Today it's 7 o'clock, 7:03 in p.m. in Australia. It is Wednesday evening. So, Wednesday evening, Mr. B. Yeah, Wednesday. And obviously Slim's in the eastern states, and he's another 3 hours ahead of us in the eastern states, because they've just turned to daylight saving over there, just as I've just found out. So it's another 3 hours difference if I want to ring my mates. Oh dear, daylight savings. Yeah, we're 12 hours ahead of us. Yep. I'm exactly 12 hours ahead of you. Yeah, we were worried about him too, sick. Fuck, I'm really worried about him, man. We're worried about you all. Down there in Florida, down in North Carolina, even up as far as Virginia. Dylan, there's no daylight savings here in West Australia. We don't need it, Dylan. We have fantastic hours of sunlight here, but they obviously like it in the eastern states for some reason. But anyway, is it Thursday? No, it's Wednesday still. It's Wednesday. Yeah, good. You're all battled down. Good man. Okay. Yes. So, the east coast of Australia, when I get to Lismore, that area, Byron Bay, I will be 12, 13, nearly 15 hours ahead of you. In where you are sick, I think, when I get over there. So I'm just drinking my Coca-Cola without any spirits. I'm healing up from my surgery. I'm just about to have a bit of a chuff, and head off to bed soon. That's about it, really. I'm glad you're still here with us, Sick. I'm really, because I've seen some stuff, and it's frightening what they're saying about America at the moment, and it's very, very, very scary, very, very scary stuff for the farmers over this side. Yeah, okay. Is it for the farmers? Is that what it is? Is that why they've done daylight saving? Good. I'll do a wake and bake with you, bro. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Good morning, 2-4, up there in Nova Scotia, mate. Good you're joining me. I've just managed to talk to Sick Bastard and Mr. B, so I'm relieved a lot. Where a chopper was fucking with the supplies. Oh man, I know. I've heard something like that, and FEMA is just being a dickhead, and oh god, it's crazy stuff. Anyway, black unmarked chopper. Yeah, it's crazy. Real Walking Dead stuff. It is actually. Really, the Commonwealth. And, what's his name? Sergeant Friendly. God, that's all crazy stuff. It is. It's fucking crazy, crazy, crazy world. It's good. Yeah. I know. Yeah, exactly. FFS. Let's go to Brandon. Yeah. Daylight saving sucks. It does. Fucking does. Especially when you're over east. And also in South Australia, if you've got a young family and you live in South Australia, because I noticed this, I was with this family and they had a little 4-year-old, and it's time to go to bed, but the sun's still shining. It's just because it's like about 8 o'clock in the evening, and it's time for the little ones to go to bed, but they can't get down because it's still daylight outside. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard on parents wanting to put their kids down to bed. Yeah. Daylight saving sucks, man. It's not a thing that West Australians take too kindly to. We don't really like it. I think we had it once. And that was all. I think it was thrown out the window the next year. Yeah, we don't need it in Western Australia. We've got that much light. I think in the heat, the middle of summer, it's close to 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it's completely dark over here. So we certainly don't need extra time, because it's a burden for families trying to put their young ones to sleep. By the way, Mr. B, I absolutely appreciate War and Peace style novel responses. It's great. I really do like long responses. I think it's wild that I lived so long enough to get through the video People from all over the world, like Dick Tracy on his watch. Yes, the comics we read as children. That's just wild to me. Yeah. Batfink and the wings of steel is what you guys need in a hurricane. Oh God, it's crazy. Yeah, you were mentioning that before, Sebastian, that you'd love to come to the Queensland would be the place for you, and to scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef and have a look at our reef system, and just the wonderful life that lives under the sea in amongst the corals. I've seen just a fraction of it, and it was pretty bloody. It was pretty bloody awesome, actually, what I saw. And that was only just, wasn't scuba diving. It was just a snorkel and a pair of goggles. I was just with my flippers, but I'm a bit reluctant to go out into the water these days. I don't really. Yeah, it is like that in Coffs Harbour, isn't it? You've got a beautiful reef, and I'll be in Coffs soon. Don't worry. A couple more weeks, and we're thinking about heading over for another ride. Just got to get my handle fixed up. Oh yeah, okay. You're a scuba instructor. So yeah, look, if you can get to Australia, that's where you want to be looking at. I don't know what we've got in the way of Western Australia. We've got really sandy. Yeah, we don't have many reefs over here. I think if you were to do any scuba diving in Western Australia, you'd want to go up to places like Monkey Mia, where there are huge whale sharks and things like that. That would be spectacular to see. Heart-shaped reef. I think it is, Mr. B. The heart-shaped reef is the Whitsundays of Queensland, I think. Look, there's probably other experts in the chat that can back me up there or discredit me, which I don't mind. Honeymoon Reef. There you go. So I knew there'd be someone in the chat that would, quickly correct me. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm having a bit of a one-way conversation, so I appreciate everyone being here. I'm glad my friends are safe. I don't know. Do we? There's some spot on par with pair of. Okay, there you go, Slim. I didn't know. There you go. Because I'm not a swimmer. Too many sharks for me. I don't like swimming. I like swimming a pool. That's about it. But the ocean, I go in, I have a little splash like a bird, and then I'm out onto the sand again. That's the extent of my okay. Oh wow, mini Macpherson boats on the Barrier Reef. There you go. Time's up. Time, gentlemen. Sick bastard, Mr. B. Sterling Wheel, Buck Brown, all my dear friends in the southern states of America, praying for you. God deliver you from retired rider. How are you, mate? Just touching base with a few of the people from our community who are living in the southern states of America, and just wishing them, or just thinking about them. That's all. I know it's pretty perilous time over there at the moment, and all that horrible sand. Yeah, fucking oath, I can't stand it. It gets in your jocks and it just rubs against your balls, and it's just fuck the beach. Fuck the beach, I say. I like riding along it. That's about it. That's about as fucking close to the beach as I want to get. Funny. All right. Thanks for all coming. I'm sorry to end it now, guys. We were having a bit of a good chat. Yeah. No worries. I really like talking with you too, Mr. B. You're a cool. I know it's all right. I'm not a big morning person either, but you're doing really well, man. Enjoy that cup of Joe. Enjoy that wake and bake, and I'll have a bit of a chuff too myself. Good night, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Really great talk. Bye now.